We started with the Cowboys and a brand new asset that we had in a digital tunnel cover. It was the first digital tunnel cover in the NFL. And really with this new asset came the question of, well, how are we valuing it and what value is it providing? So as it went in, producing it, going in before the season, giving that some thought and saying, hey, how do we value the media that we're getting out of this? So we connected with Block 6 primarily because they had this real-time capability. So it does me no good to know the value after the whole season. I need to make real-time decisions because this is a digital tunnel cover. I can now tweak the creative or optimize the creative game to game or even inside of a game with that ability of LED and digital technology. So really needed to evaluate it real time, game by game basis. So Block 6 came with this ability to say, hey, we can tell you a few days afterward what value you got and what optimizations from a creative standpoint you might want to think about making. So went ahead with the analysis, and essentially several days after each game, we got this full report card. It said, here's how the logos performed, here's what the kind of the heat map that they got, here's the value that generated from a broadcast standpoint. And we were really then able to make essentially real-time decisions on creative. So we were switching logos game to game. We were switching placement of logos. We were switching whether we used a bottle image or just a straight logo to try to find that sweet spot of maximizing the value. So huge value in that real-time ability to see really what was working and what wasn't in terms of producing media value. And it's a technology and a capability that we plan to use more of going forward. Example of the real-time nature and how that really impacted the business decisions that we were making within a season. So we started out with using just a pure Lipton logo, and that was getting great media value. Again, a few days after each game, we get this full report that said, here's the media value you got. And actually over the season, within I think 6 or 8 games, we had actually gotten the full value of the project back in media already in year 1, in season 1. So great return there. But the decision was made to initially start with just a plain big bold logo to try to generate the maximum value. And then halfway through the season, the question came from our senior leadership to say, hey, why don't we use an actual image of the bottle, the image of the Lipton bottle? So we went ahead and made that change. And immediately, because of the analysis that we did, we saw that actually didn't net more value because it was a smaller image, wasn't getting picked up as much on TV and registering. So we were able to then see that result. We saw a significant drop in media value, again, a few days after that game. And then we're able to make the decision to go back to an optimized larger logo to then generate those larger media returns. So an example of a real-time decision of we changed the creative, saw that it actually negatively impacted the value, and then we were able to change it back and to optimize to maximize the media value. I think one of the primary reasons to lean into Block 6 and the technology that they have is if you look on a macro trend in sports and signage, specifically in-venue signage, nothing is static anymore. Everything that we do now going forward, and I'm sure a lot of other sponsors, is digitally based. It's all dynamic digital video content. And so, you're never doing a static sign that you can put up once a season and maybe think about changing it. So this nature of real-time information really becomes more and more important with the more digital and real-time nature of all the signage pieces that sponsors like Pepsi and others are putting in. So I think this technology is going to become more and more important to allow sponsors like us and others to make more real-time decisions to optimize value within a season and potentially even within a game at some point.